All right, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. How are you feeling today? Can I get a morning shout out? All right, so I can see the thumbs ups on my screens, the emojis. Just to let you know, I have two monitors, so I'm using this is my main camera, right? So on my right, actually, there's another monitor. It's for a chat box and everything, so I can see the engagement here. Right. So currently, I can see that so far we have 82 participants. Well done, everyone, for allocating your time this early morning. Okay, especially in Ramadan. So I hope that all of us will optimize this moment, right, to learn something new. Okay. So as you can see on the screen. Right. So before that, my name is Ridzuan. Yeah. For those who haven't met me in person, my name is Ridzuan, and I'm actually a registered and licensed counselor under the Board of Counselors of Malaysia, which I have been joining OUN since last year. So maybe some of you probably haven't familiar with my face yet, but we have conducted a workshop before. Whoever that have joined last year a physical workshop we held in Menara OUM. So I delivered the talk myself, and some of you have engaged me very well. So all right. Okay, so I wanted to go further to our agenda, but before we go into that, I would like to share. This is something that I have been doing. When I first received in an inquiry or feedback from our learners, having said that, you know what, Rizwan, we need something that can enhance our career. Right, I already right. So how what kind of workshop that I can deliver? So upon the feedback that I explore, I ask the students what they actually want. We counselors here. We actually have different I'm so sorry. I think something happened. I was kicking off by out of sudden without realize it, but that's okay. All in control right now. All right. So again, just now I was mentioning the rationality of this topic. Why we decided to choose this topic, because you see, when we try to do something that meaningful at work, but apparently we cannot find what fulfill us, what make us feel important at work. So there is a evidence base on the study. Our personality might not fit on the current work, right? So that's how we come up with this kind of a topic. What is your personality telling you about your career? Okay, I believe some of you probably familiar with this kind of topic. Maybe some of you before you guys joining enroll for this university, or before that in the school you have done some kind of assessment, John Holland's theory, right? Career inventory. So this actually assessment that is our main product for today. All right, without further ado, let's go to the next agenda. All right. Okay, so let's begin with our first activity. I know it's too early for everyone. Okay, so I would like to do some engagement activities. Right. So first question the first question. Okay, thank you. So sorry. I'm going to record this. Sorry, guys. All right. Okay. Let me adjust my screen a while. Okay, so let's begin with our first activity today. I know it's too early in the morning, and some of us probably our brain started to breathe with a new oxygen. So I have a very important question today. How are you feeling today? So how you are going to do this activity on a scale, okay, in 1 minute on a scale from 1 to 5. How do you feel? How are you feeling? Use your chat box to use the emojis, or perhaps you can use your words. How do you feel? Do you feel all right? Do you feel not all right? Okay, in 1 minute, let's go. I want to see those numbers. Okay, I'm looking at my right screen. So those numbers 5, 4, 3. Any words? Alhamdulillah. I saw someone say Alhamdulillah. Exactly. Alhamdulillah. And what else? I want to check on the YouTube audience. Perhaps they have the ideas how they are feeling. Okay, I can see Warik. Warik share the emojis there. All right, thumbs up. Raise thumbs up there. I'm finding where is the okay, right. I can see a lot of positive energy here. Amazing, mate. It's really amazing. Okay, so I'm checking at the YouTube right now. YouTube audience. Okay, I can see a lot of the numbers there in YouTube. Okay, so just for the YouTube audience, whoever that are not be able to join Google Meet, we have a capacity of 250 participants. Hence, we channel out the remaining participants to YouTube. Yeah, I mean we're still on live. Give accessible to all students, all audience participants that wanted to join. All right. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, I can see Saidatu said three, overwhelmed, and then Nurbaizura used the emoji. Yeah, I can see that. It's okay. It's all right. Okay, so the rationality why I love starting with this activity. It helped us to understand how we feel today. If no one asks us how are we feeling today, how we are going supposed to know are we all right or not, right? So I always inspired with this activity, checking on the scale from 1 to 5, right? So it's inspired from a theory called wheels of emotions. If you have a free time, go Google wheels of emotion. What is the wheel of emotions? So as you can see on your screen, supposedly on your left side, so that is my wheels of emotions. Emotions are variance, emotions are dynamic, emotions are meaning. um, Whatever that we feel right now, it doesn't mean that we feel the same for the next one, right? Okay, so emotions is something that we always like underestimate. We don't actually ask us how we feel on every morning. So that's how I wanted to start my morning. That's how I wanted to start my online talk today, about asking how we feel. Yeah, of course, as a registered counselor, this is quite an important question. When I ask my client, how do you feel today? It's quite a boring question, but indeed it is a self-validation. Okay, thank you everyone for participated for our first activity. All right, so this is my official, my also called official resume, right? So I'm a registered and licensed counselor. I have been practicing since 2019. Okay, I started quite late. I mean, I became a counselor when I was at the age of 27. So how does my position deliver this talk is quite makes sense, because I work in different industry before, and then I decided to jump into counseling and psychotherapy. So I know some of you actually are adult learners, that probably you are currently at the stage that you it's not like you don't love your job, but what you are working right now, you don't feel like it is right for you, right? And you feel like you wanted to do something else. So that is the objective of this workshop. Okay, this workshop actually tailored. Okay, I tailored this workshop for three compositions or three groups. The first one is the fresh learners. Okay, the fresh leaders, fresh start, fresh students. So this workshop probably make you feel like, okay, I wanted to find something that actually give me meaning. that's something that forward me to a meaningful career. And the second group is for adult learners, okay, people like us, like me. You are doing your job. It's not like you don't love your job, but maybe it's a time that you feel that, okay, I need to find something else that actually give more meaningful. All right. And then the third one is retirees or homemakers. So for retirees and homemakers, this is not the end of your road. So once you're retired, so this is a new phase for you to explore, and perhaps this workshop probably can fit whatever that they are looking for. All right. So and then okay, next, of course, a little bit about my background in counseling practices. I'm specialized in reality and existential therapy. For those who haven't known, right? My job is to helps my client to go their directions. For example, if you want something, so my job is to help my clients to go to the right path. So that's my background. And of course, my core focus is for personal growth, decision making, and work-life balance. So whoever that have this kind of conflicts or presenting issue, I will be happy to assist anyone that reach out to the counseling unit. We always welcome everyone. Right. Of course, my mission is to empower learners to build resilient and discover their purpose. So, when I joined OUM since last year, I realized that OUM is quite unique. OUM learners quite unique because they are not just a family man, but they are employee as well, and they are students. So there are three roles for one person. So resilient might be compromised, but indeed, I understand that some of you struggling to find the mutual point for work-life balance, but it's okay. I'm here to help. Okay, so my past experience that I did individual and group counseling and mental health organizational support. So I have worked in corporate setting before, and um, currently I work in the education setting. So I had exposure for both settings. Alhamdulillah. Okay, all right. Okay, enough for my resume. Okay, let's go to the next slides. This is very important. I always ensure that all participants understand our ground rules to ensure that everyone comfortable and learn the new key points for today. Because it's not that simple that everyone try to allocate their time to join today. So I'll make sure that everyone learn something before we end up today's session. So our first ground rule is stay muted. Okay, I know that I have a button all muted here, but please ensure that you always stay muted to ensure that our well-being of this talk is all right. And the second ground rule is camera on. It's not compulsory, but it would be nice if I know to who I'm talking with. If you know what I mean, right? And then the next one is raise hand. Okay, I have Q&A sections at the end of my talk. That's something that I always prepare. But if you have a question, and you cannot wait at the end of the session, right? So what you need to do is just raise your hand just like this. See, I'm raising my hands now. The green icon. There you go. Okay, and then try again. Yeah. So if you have any questions, make sure you click this, and I will be happy to assist you accordingly. Okay. Thank you, Moy, for your thumbs up, and Farid, thanks for your thumbs up as well. So meaning that you guys are understood for our ground rules. Um, right. Wheel of screens. Okay, right, understood. All right, and then next one. Let's go to the next one. Is use emojis. You are guaranteed use emojis. I always encourage my participants to use emojis to communicate. I understand. Some people they don't feel comfortable to talk. Like turn on the mic and talk. They don't feel comfortable. I didn't comfortable as well. Few years back, before I became a counselor. Now I can see the fireworks on my screen. Okay, the fireworks screen on my screen. Thanks, guys. All right, and then use the chat. Again, use the chat. You have anything, questions, or any feedback, just use the chat. We communicate, and it's okay. You don't have to turn on the mic if you don't feel comfortable with that. And the last one, I always recommended headphones. If you have headphones, AirPods, any accessories that helps you to experience or emerging in noise canceling, I always encourage that, because we have a few videos later that probably you might want to focus more, because those videos actually for grounding exercise. Yeah, of course, as a counselor, I help my clients to ground themselves during a session, and I would like to do the same during our sessions. All right, cool. Let's begin to our next slide. All right, so again, it's very important for us to understand when we craft a workshop, right? It's very important to understand the objective of the workshop, what do actually we want, what the output that we want to bring back, something that we can learn at home. Okay, so the first objective is to identify dominant career personality types using John Holland's Riasat Career Interest Assessment. So John Holland actually is a psychologist. He was a counselor as well. He was a career counselor as well, and he developed an assessment that helps people to understand what is actually their personality and how this personality help them to thrive at their work. For fresh learners, this probably might be a new direction for you when you study and you do this assessment and try to understand, oh, am I the right path studying this, am I not the right path in studying this. And for adult learners, okay, mid-career needs, if you think that because I understand that some of us or you am learners, you study here probably something that different from your work, okay, maybe you are working because okay, uh, the fun fact is I learned few students actually they work in they work as a safety officer, but they some of them they actually enroll masters in counseling because they wanted to be a counselors just like me as well. So that's what I'm trying to say. Their mid-career needs. So probably this assessment might help you. Some of you probably know, but maybe this workshop it can be a refresher for those that have known this. Okay, so the second workshop it will be to understand personality traits in potential career fields, roles, or learning pathways. And yes, just like I explained just now, for fresh learners, this probably could be your first direction. Where do you want to go? And also it can be for retirees and homemakers, okay, full-time wife. Just because you don't conventionally work doesn't mean that you don't have a career. It doesn't mean about job 9 to 5, but career, how we actually grow professionally, right? So maybe this assessment will be your indicator, where do you want to go after your retirement. All right. So example like my dad. My dad has been working in banking for almost 30 years, and this year will be his first retired year. And so he's exploring the new interest, hobby, etc. So same thing like assessment. Assessment is a tool that actually help people to explore further. Okay. So the next one, to develop greater clarity. Yes, if we do not know what we do, if we don't if we don't understand, if we don't take a step back, try to explore, try to understand what is our purpose at work, how do you think that we can fulfill our feeling at work? So, well, how can we catch all those passionate, all those spirits at work if we don't understand what we do at work? It's like you are going to work, but and then what is our goal? What's our objective? So how do we expect that we can get that booster if you don't have that? And that's how people started to have this thought. I'm not sure whether you have heard there is a phenomena. Mm, Wait, I can hear someone that actually. Okay, I'm muted already. Okay, so again, if we do not find meaning at work, how do we expect that we can get a booster at work? Meaning that how can we go for extra miles? If you notice, some people they go for the extra miles. They don't actually bother about. They don't mind doing extra miles because they have the passion. They wanted to help people, for example. They wanted to give impacts to their colleagues and then their surrounding and team. So this is very important. Okay, without meaning at work, that's our core value, and how is it possible for us to survive from one day to another. When I say survive, it's not like you don't get the job, but how you're going to sustain your mood, your KPI, your performance if you don't know what you're doing there. All right. So we will explore that. You will find it quite interesting because I learned it as well in the past, and I hope it benefits to all of you. Okay, let's go. All right. I think I talked too much, so let's have a break with this video. Okay, when we talk about career is not about job 9 to 5, but it is a reflection of you and work. Enjoy it.
When you hear the term career, what do you think of? Many people envision a 9 to 5 job or someone pursuing a specialized field. These are both valid examples, but when it comes down to it, a career is a reflection of you and your work. People have viewed careers differently over the years. Decades ago, some considered a career to be working with one company until you retired. Later, others viewed it as working your way up through a specific industry. But nowadays, the workforce is changing at a faster pace. A career can include side hustles or working in the gig economy. Many people are also changing jobs more frequently. Because of the way our workforce is evolving, there's no right or wrong way to define what a career is. For example, let's take a look at Jennifer. She's always been a great creative problem solver. Her first job was helping her parents to run their family business. But for her next job, she found herself in event planning. And while working through both of these, she was also a freelance artist and was blogging on a regular basis. Even though these jobs seem fairly unrelated, together they form a career of her own. Simply put, a career is a culmination of the jobs you hold and how you weave them together to form a bigger picture.
Goodwill Community Foundation, creating opportunities for a better life.
All right. All right. Thank you everyone for watching the video. So, right, again, when we talk about career, right, it's not about 9 to 5 job. Yeah, thank you guys for the thumbs up. Akila, May, Lee, thanks. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So, okay. So when we talk about career, right? So when I remember when when I first got my first job, I thought career is a job, but then the more I upbringing with people, I growing up through professionally, I learned that actually a career is not just a job. Career is actually a life because it's either you like it or not. Maybe 1/3 or 2/3 of your life you spend your time at the workplace. Almost half of your day you focus on your work. So it's not a job anymore. It's your life, right? So when those videos reflected about how actually career develop us, it is. It's not just develop us, but it is also develop our personality. How our personality reflected what we are doing. For those who are watching this, if you are teachers from PGDT or perhaps you are the future safety officers, maybe from what occupational safety program. So think of that. Why you chose that? Why you choose that particular path? Is it because you join because you like it, or you join because it's a good job? Maybe like if you study this, and definitely you will get the job. The employability is guaranteed. Yeah, some people think in that way, thinking that okay, you know what, I'm going to work, I'm going to study this because at the end of the day, the employability is guaranteed. Like teacher, doctor is a very guaranteed. It's a very essential career in our life compared to something that like counselors. I would say counselors is not actually essentials, but it is somehow very important as well. So it depends on how you want to live with your career. All right. Okay. Let's go with the next slide. Okay, so this is our key product for today, talking about John Holland's and his assessment, his theory, career choices. It's very important to understand how actually John Holland came out with this assessment, with this theory, because actually without John Holland, if let's say if John Holland didn't come out, didn't develop this theory and assessment, I'm not sure how our country, our education country, can help students to find their pathways. Because if you go to Ministry of Higher Education website, they actually have their own assessment there. It was translated in Malay. Yeah, unfortunately, there is no English translation, but I wish they have a dual language. It will be convenient for some people, but it's okay. I will get through later. So this assessment actually have has helped like millions of people, has inspired millions of people to understand what is actually their personality and how their personality fits to their current work, how their personality actually drive them to find what they want to be, how their personality actually unlock the new potential for retirees and homemakers. Right. So I read some fun facts about John Holland. Okay, so John Holland I mean, he was involved during the during World War Two. So when he was there at the field, he noticed that some people, I mean, most of the people, they only spend their time, with the same group. When I say the same group from the high school, the same group from the same town. And then he observed more, and then he found out actually it's not about the so-called the demographic of where they came from, but it's more about what they actually like. For example, mechanics will spend their time with mechanics, and the doctors with the doctors. I mean, in the army, because of course they all of them are army, but their expertise are quite different. So he noticed that this personality actually is a very natural, and he wanted to focus more. He tried to understand how does this personality actually fits to their work, right? How they actually communicate well. So what he's trying to do is, he's trying to say that people express their vocational interests, okay, based on what they want it to be, they like to do. All right, for the mechanic people, for mechanic people, they enjoy using their hands, right? They enjoy using their hands, so these hands actually are mechanism for these people, very important. So they always communicate with other people who have the same interests as well. So again, when Holland said people's vocational interests are expressed of their personalities, it reflects how actually our career develop. Again, career is not job from 9 to 5, but it is about us and our job. It is a relationship. All right. So when we talk about individuals, when I said earlier, right? So John Holland feels individuals feels when they know what they want, when they know who they are, they feels like the work is much more fulfilled. Meaning that when they go to the work, they don't feel bored anymore. Okay, there is a term in European right now. They call it as a quiet silent thing. Sorry, quit silent, quit. Quit like stop, quit resigning, quit silent. So quit silent is a phenomenon happen actually in Europe and US, meaning that when they go to the work, their mind is quit already from the work. Their mind has resigned from the work already. So that's how they started to lose their meaning, their fulfillment, like what I'm doing here, why I'm still here. It has been 10 years. I got nothing to contribute. So quite silent. You can Google it. You will find the article about it. It's actually something that is ongoing. And yeah, some of you probably even right now have that kind of feeling, like what I'm doing at my work, why I'm still here, etc. Right. So Holland, according to Holland, individuals feels more fulfilled, feels more meaningful if they work in positions aligning with their personalities. All right. Okay, and then when he developed this story, his observation and he's actually study about it, and he came out with a six personality, which is what we call as a RIASEC. Okay, so R is rational, and I is investigative, A artistic, as social, E enterprising, C conventional. Okay, so what are those? What are those? Okay, as you can see on your screen right now, these are the RIASEC, the hexagon, or we call it as the vocational interest theory. Okay, so people that actually have realistic, So another name for them is doers. What does it mean, doers? So the basic verb or the root verb for doers is do. Like do, doing, doing. So realistic people, they use their hands for engagement. They work with machine, right? People like oil and gas, people that working in oil and gas, offshore, and then mechanics, foremen, probably some of the engineers, technician, aircon technician. So hands is their way of communicate to the world. Hands are their main essential items for them to communicate with their environment, right? So it's very important for them to understand what is the environment. For example, if you are a realistic person, I mean, you have been working, dealing with a machine, and then sometime, and then out like maybe after a few years, you get promotion, and your manager say, hey, you know what, you have been in the field for a few years, why don't you join us, be a top management, be a critical thinker, be a brainstormer. We need new ideas, we need new people, we need new solutions. So how? So when these people realize, like, work at the office, how do you think it will affect these people, right? Like, what I'm doing here, I'm not sure, this is not my type. So it happened, actually it happened. And they hardly to understand, how should I brainstorm, because the way of they communicate with their personalities and work is by hands, the mechanism, right? So the next category is investigative. Okay, so in other words, investigative, if we want to imagine what kind of people is investigative, is like a scientist. They investigate, they wanted to know something, maybe a doctor, maybe someone that actually focus more on brainstorming. So another name for them is the thinkers. Economists, they need solution, what they need to do. Top management, some of the top managements, they are investigative persons. They need to, for example, maybe they need to sustain. How can we sustain the company? How can we make more profit? The company, how can we like lower down, decrease the percentage of turnover of our company. So investigative think, it's like a detective. Yeah, I think that's the most right words. A police, a detective, they imagine how can they solve the problem, right? That is I. And then the next one is A, artistic. Artistic is about freedom and fun. People that having artistic personality, they don't like working from 9 to 5. It's not like they don't like, they just prefer their own freedom. All right. Yeah, I can say that a lot of painters, buskins, they like a freelance job remotely. Okay, the next one is a social. S is a social, and social is basically a helper. Like me, I'm working as a counselor. I meant to help people. Okay, doctor, teachers. That is a social personality. The next one is enterprising. Enterprising. I don't have to introduce much. Everyone know how enterprising people work. Influencers, Khairul Amin. That's a very significant, very famous. Okay, even some of the celebrities started to run their own show, like maybe Jamie Oliver, perhaps one of your favorite celebrity right now, right? And then the next one is a conventional. So conventional is about details. Conventional is organizations. Okay, sorry. So everything that conventional people do, everything need to be organized, A to Z, right? Z to A, um, from high to low, the way they sort, like librarians, the way they sort the book. And even some accountants, they are conventional people. They are very details particular about the ledger that they read. They really focus on that detail. So that is the conventional people. All right, so let's get through with the details. And the first category is a realistic R. Okay, as you can see, that is example people that working in oil and gas. Why I said oil and gas people actually is a relative person, because they enjoy jobs, enjoy doing the jobs in which they use their hands. Their hands is quite particular. So, in other terms, if I read past articles, I found out that a working class, working most of the working class category, they prefer working with their hands. They really enjoy doing their hands, right? And number two, prefer to work alone or with small groups. So it's very rare to see, autos foremen or mechanics working in a large group. So if you notice that, if you like aircon services people, right? Aircon services people, they don't actually have a big group. They work, maybe two people come to your house and service the aircon, right? You can see that two people, they prefer to focus on the machine, between them and the machine. So that's the way they communicate between each other. And the next one, enjoy repairing objects and often have a good mechanical skills. Their mechanical skills is absolutely stunning. All right, so never underestimate these people. These people actually can help you, fix your car, fix your bike, fix your aircon, and yeah, more that they can do. So all right, and then the last one is perform tasks outdoors, operate tools or machine, engage with physical tasks. So again, just like I shared with you earlier, that it is quite funny. I have a friend that he got promoted to the next level, so he worked in the office. So he quite struggling. He quite struggling. He has been working, in the factory for quite some years, and then I think he deserved a promotion and he accepted for management roles. But he's still like adjusting himself to lead a group, from above. To lead a group from above, he used to lead a group under above, meaning on the field, but he currently lead a group, from above, from the room. So it's quite challenging for him. He cannot see, he cannot be realistic, right? But that's okay. People change, people are dynamic. Today, whatever that they feel today, it doesn't mean that they feel the same for the next day. Right, so this is the worst, the first category of sec. Okay, the next one is investigative eye. Basically, when I first encountered investigative personality, I will see that these people are actually a detective. Detective doesn't mean that they, work like a police. No, no. Detective means they try to understand the why. What is that, and why is it happen? When it's happened? So these people keep asking that kind of questions. Right. What's the formula? 5W1H. What, when, why, how. These people have these questions in their brain. So if you notice, maybe probably in the meeting, you notice that the people ask this question because they wanted to know, how does it work? Does it work? Will this, this technique will be helpful, for example. Okay, so these people prefer work demands abstract thinking. So abstract thinking means that they not just see a problem, but they see a problem for 1001 possibilities, meaning that they brainstorm themselves, etc. Right. So the next one is O2, good at math and science. So most of these people, they good at math and science, but it's not so-called a main features. If you are investigating, you have to be good at math and science, but no, but most of them, they have this tendency to like math and science, like data scientists, for example. Right. And then the next one is enjoy observing, researching, and analyzing information. When they brainstorm, they reminiscence, they recall what they have observed. When problem happened, they saw it and they try to understand why actually it happened like that. So they will bring this observation to the meeting. You know what? The last time when this problem happened, I think this and that, this and that, this and that. So they invest their time to observe, right? So when I talk about this, right, it reminds me of our great royal professors, like Unku Aziz, and then current royal professor is Naquib Alatas. These people actually, they spend their time to observe how actually Unku Aziz, developed Tabung Haji, because he observed the community at that time about the saving habits. So that's the great people, investigative. They observe people, they observe community. For example, if they ride on the commuter LRT, they don't play the phone, they don't listen to the music, but they see people, they observe people, they try to understand what is happening in the society, in the community, and how actually they can contribute. That's investigative people. Right. And then the next one is prefer to work alone. Yeah, of course. This is that's why we only have one royal professor for every term. We don't have two royal professors because investigative is quite rare. It's quite unique. They prefer to work alone and often logical and intellectual. Again, they spend the time to observe to understand, and they will ask themselves, how can I help? Yeah, investigative people. Okay, thinkers. Yeah, that's another name. Okay, so the next one is the artistic. Right, artistic is quite straightforward. Okay, so people that have artistic personality, they don't actually work in the form of structured timetable. They feel like stuck, right? They like, like have their own time, their free time, their pace, freedom to solve the problem in their own way. They don't do like how investigative do. Okay, timeline, deadline, let's work. That is investigative people. But artistic is very opposite. They need their own time and pace to understand, right, and then solve the problem. Okay, so the next one is talented, not just one, but more types of creative arts. Okay, so it's a proof if you have friends that actually enjoy in the industry of creative media, you can see how they can do multitask. They are edit a lot of things, pictures, videos, etc. So they not focusing on one talent, but a lot of talent. When I said talent, maybe a lot of workspace. Probably this one of your friends probably mastered in many ecosystem. Google Workspace, Apple Workspace, Microsoft Workspace, and it actually need talents and skill to do that, to master all of this. And these are artistic people. Okay, and the next one is a like to entertain and enjoy working with others. Okay, so I think the most relevant examples or company that actually emerge in our society is a Les Copac. Right, that's how I pronounce it in French, right? So, so Les Copac is a studios which I know some of my friends work there, and they actually work in a large groups. So when when they came out, the first draft of Upin and Ipin, it's not just one man job; it's a hundred men's jobs. Animations, drawing, sketches. It's artistic. It's a an art of work. Okay, so the last one is a thrive in position with little structure that allow more freedom of choices. Yeah, just like I said just now, they don't work in a way of in the structured form, deadline, timeline. No, they have their own way. Maybe they have a deadline for, of course, if they work with the clients, they need timeline to do so. Right. So they are creators. Okay, so the next one is social. Yeah, when we talk about social, uh, okay, I just read the comment from Akila. Yeah, understood. It's okay, Akila. People are dynamic. People are change every day. It's okay. Right. So we talk about social, right? Social people that enjoy working with people, prefer to work with and help others. When I wanted to reflect my past working experience, when I work, okay, I used to work in legal industry. Okay, my bachelor's degree actually is in Shari'i law. I work in trustee company. So the one thing I like that particular time is helping my clients. So I have that social personality back then before I knew it. So I invest most of my time consult with my clients. So that's my particular interesting. Right. And then the next one is assisting people in finding solutions to problems. Yes, correct. Working as a counselor, I have this so-called tendency. I know there's a yeah, of course, as a counselor, sometimes we found that our case are quite stuck, and from our end, how can we help my client? How can I help my client? For example, if I need more help, so I'll refer my case to my supervisors. Hey, you know what? My client is having this kind of difficulty. How can I help him as a his or her counselor? So bringing the case to the supervisor is meaning that I committed to help my client. Right. So the next one is enjoy working face to face with others. Yes, social people they find working with people is quite meaningful. If you don't believe me, ask the salespeople in the banking line. They like working with people, insurance people. Yeah, right. And then the next one is friendly. possessing high interpersonal communication skills. So their words are quite sweet, but absolutely effective, I would say. Okay, I mean they're good in talking. In our layman word, they're good, really good in talking. Right, and the nickname for them is helpers. Right. So we go to the next category, enterprising. So enterprising is A. Enterprising is take pleasure in managing on influence others. In other words, I would say that okay, before AI, before COVID, we always think that when we talk about enterprising, right, it's always about the businessman, right? I mean, it makes sense, businessman. But then when AI came, I mean, of course, it started with COVID, and then people work remotely, and we can see a lot of celebrities started to emerge. So they're not just they're not just a typical or a traditional businessman anymore. They are a modern entrepreneur. They are a celebrity. They are influencers. Their words might influence people. Whatever they share in the social media will make people think, should I do like this? Should I not do like this? So that is actually enterprising nowadays, and prefer to work with others and are often outgoing and energetic, like good morning everyone. So that kind of energy that kind of energy they have, that when they open the TikTok live, hi everyone, good morning, my name is Ridzuan. That energy come out, enterprising, right? And the next one is often confident and assertive and enjoy administrative and managing work. People, I mean, there's a reason why they are in the business industry, because they are confident, they're convinced. This is my proposal. I confident I can do it. And people, when you, I mean, as people like us, like layman, when we see that, it's like, okay, I believe in you. Let's do it, right? I think that's how they close. They close their customers. If for ASB, some sales selling ASB, insurance, Takaful, etc. We feel confident when these people are selling to us. The confidence. Okay, and then place a high value on influence, power, authority, or money. Again, these are the factors that actually help them to build their careers. Enterprisings, another term for them is persuaders. All right. So, and the last one is a conventional. A conventional, as you can see on the screen, is a librarian. So, why I put a librarian? Because conventional actually they like to organize things accordingly. When I said accordingly, meaning that okay, from tall, right, from the tall to lower, right. So that's how they accordingly organizing. And for people like working in finance, perhaps accountant, they are focusing more on details, how they organize the ledger, the documents. So it's quite important for them. It gives them important work. So enjoy maintaining or implementing order and organization. Okay, and then excel in positions requiring attention to details. Again, this I observe myself. Someone that I know work in the finance industry. Right. So everything details has to be captured in their eyes, right? Conventional people, they have this very good focus, right? Despite that they working for hours, but they still can maintain their focus, focusing on details, ledger for accountant, for example. Okay, and then the next one is enjoy working with numbers, structured tasks, deadlines, and rules. Yes, uh, typical top management personality, very conventional. I please submit, these tasks or whatever files before today. So it's very straightforward because they enjoy working with numbers, structured tasks, deadline, and rules. Without these values, it might not help these people to find value at work, right? I mean, nothing is wrong. There's no right or wrong. It's just how they prefer to work. Okay, and then the last one is compliant and careful in their work. And yes, they're always thinking about the outcomes. What if they don't do correctly? What will happen? And of course, they are very careful in their work, how they see numbers, how they see for library and how they see books. they don't just see books. When they see books in the library, they see how actually, when public people come to their library, how can they find a book? So that's how they think. Conventional. It's very conventional. It's very structured. What is the SOP, etc. All right, so that is Ria side. I hope it makes sense. Okay, and I hope everyone is still all right. Okay. Okay, so let's take a break with a grounding technique. Okay, I can see the thumbs. Okay, I can see Aiman, Kamal, Choi. Okay, Aruna. Okay. So let's take a break with a grounding technique. Okay, just for your information, this grounding technique it helps me as well as a counselor and my client during the session to calm down. I hope you like it. Enjoy it.
Sometimes the mind can feel like a pack of wild horses, jumping around from past to present to future, refusing to sit still. And like a pack of wild horses, trying to force the mind to be still just doesn't work. The horses are wild in nature after all. But with practice and time, we can train the mind to be aware of when it's galloping in all directions. And we can guide it back to the present moment with a kind and friendly hand. So let's see if we can practice taming the mind by taking a few mindful deep breaths. Wherever you are now, get comfortable. Eyes can be open or closed, and perhaps relaxing the shoulders. And now, taking a deep breath, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Noticing what thought or sensation the mind is chasing after. And again, just gently taking another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One last time, breathing in and breathing out. Similar to the wild horses, over time, the mind can become more tame, more calm, and may even start to enjoy more moments of stillness. Remember to just keep practicing.
All right. So, how is everyone feeling right now? Can I see some thumbs emoji? Okay, Akila again. Mary, good. Does it help? Does it help the mindfulness video? All right. Okay. So okay. I would like to share. Of course, this is a carry online workshop, but I would like to take this opportunity as a counselor. As a counselor, I think it's quite important. Whatever that you are doing right now, if you feel overwhelmed, stop. So there's a technique called stop. Whatever you feel right now, overwhelmed, too much to you, stop. S, stop. T, taking a breath. O, observe. Observe. How do you feel? What do you think? How do you feel? How that stress, affect your neck, your body, physical body. O, observe. STO. P, proceed with mindfulness. Proceed with mindful. Proceed with mindful means that you stop, take a breath, STO, and then P, proceed. So this is how we actually make a better decision rather than If something happened, we just react. Something happened, we just react. So it might not something that you wanted to do, because you will be regretful when like something trigger you, make you feel mad, and you just react. You will feel regret after that. But if you stop, stop, T, taking a breath, O, observe what is happening. Okay, I know I'm feeling mad. I'm feeling mad. I feel triggered, mad. Relax. And P, proceed with mindful, meaning that it's okay. I'm not going to shout at your face. So it worked for some people. Right, I hope it helps. I would like to answer, I think Evelyn, just now you were asking, is auditor is under investigation? It's a quite interesting question because, yeah, fun fact is, I married an auditor, right? So I married an auditor. My wife is an auditor. So, what is the observation that I can see from her work, and then her personality, and of course when I studied about Riasec, right? So auditor, okay, most of them, they are exposed to the numbers. They are very particular about numbers, right? So auditor, right? If we are talking about auditor as a accountant auditor, that's how. But what I'm trying to say, they are particular about the details. Even if they are from compliance officer, they are particular about details. So of course, when they look at the details, right, they need to have investigative thoughts. What is this? How can this actually happen? How, when, why? So those numbers, if the odd numbers are there, how can it be there? So investigative, and then it's a blend of investigative and conventional, right? So yeah, later I will explain furthermore how actually the personality react towards our personality. So when I presented just now about the RIASEC, the six personalities, it doesn't mean that you only have one personality. Rather than it's about how, which personality actually dominant. Maybe you are investigative person, but at the same time you are actually conventional person. Okay, it's a good question. Thank you, Evelyn. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Thanks, Evelyn. Okay, so this is a very important part. I really appreciate you don't lock in first. Okay. All right. So I would like to introduce to you John Holland assessment, which Ministry of Higher Education, they have developed in their websites. So as you can see, you can straightforward. Yeah, if you are there, you can screenshot this slide so you can get the link. But don't do it now. I will explain. I will run. I will get through you how I can actually do it. And again, disclaimer: we are not going to do live assessments because we have like what about 500 participants, including YouTube and then Google Meet. So I won't do it live, but I will guide through you how can you actually do it. So if you can see on your screen, the name is a e-profiling. Even if you type in the Google search, right, e-profiling Mohe, MOHE, Ministry of Higher Education, they will bring you to this home page, right? So basically, e-profiling is John Holland's assessment, John Holland career assessment, which help you to identify what profile you have right now. Okay, and again, I remember back then when I was doing my masters in counseling in Kata, right? So my professor was expert. Yeah, he is expert in the career counseling. He always mentioned to us, he mentioned. Okay, sorry, muted. So he always mentioned to us any assessments in counseling, psychotherapy, psychology. In psychology, whatever the results or outcomes that you get is not something that fix. It's not something that indicate, also, this is who you are. This is who you are and fix. No. Assessment helps you to understand where are you right now? What kind of personality are you? Because again, I would like to bring back as a as a counselor, as a psychotherapist. I like seeing a human being is ever changing. Today, this is my mood. Today, this is how I feel. But for the next day, maybe not the next day, maybe The next hours, my mood is changed, my meaning is changed, my feeling is changed. So people basically are ever changing, right? So when we do the assessment, for example, this e-profiling assessment, it doesn't mean that, oh, I am who I am forever. No, it's ever changing. Thanks for the love, Roy, Chris. Okay, so, right, e-profiling. Okay, so basically, when you look at the home screen right now, I mean, don't do it now. I mean, once you finish this session, you can try by yourself. You will see all these profiles that I have explained just now. So, and then after that, what you need to do is you will need to key in your IC there. So e-profiling. Yeah, again, there is no English version for this one. If you're asking me, currently they only have a Malay version. Yeah, I wish they have a dual language. Maybe it helps some people feel much convenient. But yeah, again, uh, it's okay. But what I'm trying to say, I have been trying to find so-called a rigid link or assessments online, but I think the most reliable one is from Mohair from the ministry because it's from ministry. It was developed by the experts there, so I rely on this. Even though that this actually assessment is for students, but when I try again, I try a lot of times. It helps to understand people that for fresh learners, for fresh students, even for adult working, adult learners as well. It helped, and then for retirees, it helped because they use a simple language, the Malay language, so it doesn't makes feel complicated, right? So yeah. Okay, so when you key in your IC, right, and then it will appear like this. Okay, I don't have anything to hide. This is my background, just in case you are concerned where I came from, what is my education background. This is who I am. They will trace back where were you studies. So make sure that you ensure all the details are correct. So as you can see, I have a master's in counseling, and at the same time, I have a bachelor's degree in Sharia law. So yeah, and then next, when you click next, okay, so this is three sections. But of course, when you click next, it doesn't appear these three section. It started appears with the first section is bahagian A of first sections. So the first section is about kesukaan. As you can see, kesukaan means what do you actually like, what do you actually interest on. Before you answer this question, I always ask my clients, I mean, not just this assessment or any other assessments, there is an ethic to answer the assessments. Okay, I remember that when I was being facilitated by my professor. He said, if you want a so-called accurate answer, but of course there is no accurate answers. People change every day. But again, for the ethics to answer the assessment, make sure that when you do the assessment, make sure you are feel calm, stable. Stable means that there is no such anything that you have to hurry to catch anything, to catch train. Just do when you feel calm. You do when you don't feel distracted. You do when you rest from your social media activities. So it's best to get result. Right. So on the first section is a bahagian A. So A section is focusing more on how can you. Sorry, it's more like what do you actually like. Right. Right. So you can see a lot there. The question is probably asking you, do you like doing this or not? How do you like? So they try to understand. They try to. So what's the word? Um, it's not integrate, but generate. Sorry, it's a generate. I'm looking for the word. They are looking for. They wanted to generate the result of the personality, so they try to understand with the questions, right? And then I think they have quite a lot of questions, but again, it's a simple language. Even for layman, if you don't feel comfortable with Malay, I think it's quite fair enough. It's still understandable, right? And then the second section is about competency. Okay, bahagian B kecakapan is competency. They wanted to know about. I mean, the questions will explore you how efficient you are when you do the job. It's like when I answered this question, it's like, you being asked about the KPI stuff. It's almost similar like that, because they wanted to know what is your performance. Okay, this is the part that they try to understand if you really like working with machine, for example, or if you really like working with physical classes, physical session, physical meet. So these are factors that actually can help the assessment generate your personality. Okay, sorry. And the next one is bahagian C, pekerjaan, or C section is occupation. So when we talk about occupation is more like dream job in simple words. For fresh learners, this is probably your dream jobs. What kind of jobs that do you like? That do you want to be? Who are you? Do you want to be? Doctors, teachers, technician, etc. Okay, so when we answered all these three segments, again, when you answer these three segments, make sure that you are feeling all right, calm, no one rush you. So hopefully you will get the so-called accurate answers for that. So when we answer these three questions, and then the system will generate, and then let me click, and then on your left, this is how it will generate the result. So again, back to the Evelyn. Evelyn, your question was, is an auditor actually investigative? Again, I would like to answer. It depends. It depends, because again, assessment is just a tool. Okay, assessment is a tool. Assessment is not a holy book. Assessment is not a Bible. It's not a Quran. Assessment is a tool. Okay, I'm quite strict about this in my practice in counseling. I always educate my client. This is not your holy book. This is your tool. It helps you to indicate where are you right now. Okay, so just like I answered to Evelyn just now, is an auditor, is investigative. It could be. It could be. We have maybe some auditors, they are not actually investigative, but they are more like, I mean, they have investigative, but a very little personality, as you can see on this. I yeah. So if you can see, John Hollins, they're focusing more on three main personalities. So what is your first personality, and what is your second personality, and what is your third personality? So when I did this after a few years, I was quite surprised that actually my main personality is E, actually enterprising, and then the next one is S, social. Yeah, and the last one I think is artistic. It's quite small, sorry, but it's okay. So I was quite surprised. I never thought that my main personality right now at the moment is enterprising. The score is much more bigger. It's much more significant than as social. I mean, I work as a counselor. Social should be right. But again, back to the question for Evelyn. I hope this explanation makes sense. Not just Evelyn, but for everyone. Okay. All right. Thanks, Aruna. Okay, so this is the chart. Okay, and then below the chart, you can see the three main personality, right? So when you click this, one of the box, you can see this on the second picture. So this is how they explain to you what is social, right? Of course, this is facts about this personality. Yeah. Okay, and then after that, if you click at the end of the page, there's another row. When you click this row, for fresh learner, for students, you can see the suggested jobs that it might fit with your personality. So for I would like to emphasize how this assessment actually fits to all ages, for fresh learners, for adult learners, and then for retirees and homemakers. For fresh learners, this is absolutely for you, because the system even suggested, you can see what kind of jobs that you can actually explore. Yeah, again, of course, I believe when I look at when I get through all the list of the job, it seems like it's focusing more on the positions that are available for the government sectors. But again, it's okay. Uh, this as your guideline, as tools for you to understand further. And for adult learners, when you answer these questions, perhaps this is the time that you can evaluate what do you want actually at the moment. Okay, and then for homemakers or retirees, okay, use this as indicator that okay, maybe I should explore the new interest and hobby, since I have so much time and I would like to make my time is meaningful and fulfill. Yeah, retirement is not about ending the job, but actually it's a new beginning. Yeah, I told my dad, welcome to the new age. It's a new exploration. It will be super excited when he retired last year. Okay, I hope it does make sense for you guys. Okay, so what can I say about by understanding our reassect, our personality, it helps us to understand where is our sense of direction. Okay, when you do the assessments and you started to learn, oh, okay, so this is me right now. Okay, this is not me for the rest of my life, but this is me right now. Right. So that's the difference right now and the rest of the life. So sense of direction for freshness, this probably could be your motivator. This could probably your motivator. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to look at your sense of direction? If you are studying, for example, occupational therapy, right? Or you are probably study as a safety officer, or you are PGDT students right now. You are listening. You are PGDT students, take this as a motivation. Oh, okay, so I'm going to be a teacher, but yeah, my social factor is the second personality dominant. But it's not about right or wrong, but it's about, oh, you have this personality as well. To become a teacher, you're going to become a safety officer, but surprisingly, your main personality is not something that you expect. But it doesn't mean that your work it doesn't give you meaningful, but it helps you to explore more. Right. Okay. So for adult learners, right? So adult learners, this is my personal experience. When I finished my master's in counseling, I had so-called period of evaluations. This is the period that I actually evaluate myself. Do I actually find meaningful working in the trustee company, working in a legal firm? I try to understand whatever that I was doing back then. Does it make me feel impactful? Does it I make myself impactful, meaningful, fulfill? Does it I make impactful at work? Like my colleagues, etc. The environments. If no, what are the suggestions? So these are the part that maybe a tool that can help you to understand where do I want to go. I mean, especially you are studying at OUM, right? There must be a reason why you are studying at OUM. For adult learners, you are working at maybe from different industry. You're working in different industry, but you are looking for something else, right? Like the transition that I personally experienced from legal to counseling and psychotherapy. I receive a lot of questions from my past employees asking my past employers asking me, why do you change? I mean, you work in legal firm, right? So it sounds cool, but to move to the private counseling center, it doesn't sound cool at all. When you watch the suits, the firm, the series, so it's cool. But I said, you know what? I don't find it meaningful anymore, and I risk my career journey to jump to counseling and psychotherapies. Yeah, so I think it's meaningful for me right now, and I'm okay with that. So that's how I found my sense of directions. Again, job is not about 9 to 5, but career is a long life journey. So if you think you are a risk taker, go with it. So I mean, I done it before. Okay, so it's a risk, but I did it. Right. So for homemaker or retirees, I would like to say, if you think like, oh, so this is the end of your career. No, it's not. Again, career is not a job. Career is a long life journey. Even since when you finish your school, uh, finish your SPM, and then you jump into foundation or diploma, and then you jump into degrees, and some of you probably you wanted to further more, or some of you started to work. Right. So it's not that like it's not like a linear line timeline or from SPM or foundation diploma and then a degree. No, it's not. Career is like this, like this, because mine was straight line in, and then okay, legal firm, okay, trusty company, and then oh yeah, counseling private center, and then move to KL. Then yeah, so that is how career works, right? So bear in your mind, if you feel like stuck, remember, if you feel like struggle to find job for freshness, remember, career is not about one particular job, but career is about how you want to explore the job that you like, especially in this era, right? I mean, COVID is a trigger, and then people started to focus more on remote working remotely, focus more on tech savvy. I discovered a lot of young talents. Okay, young talents prefer to work remotely nowadays. Remotely means that they work on freelance. They have a multiple jobs. So some people, I mean, the new generation, also the new generation, they ready for that, and it's okay. It's not about not finding the right job, but it's more about how do you want to work for the rest of your life? How do you want to craft your journey? Right, indeed, sense of direction. Right, I hope it does make sense. All right. Again, I talk too much. Let's take a break. We do some activities. All right, guys. So right now, I bet that you have your phone right now at the moment. What I want you to do in one word, in one word, how does your personality fit your current job and studies? Okay, now use your phone, your camera, turn on, scan the QR code, and answer this question. How does your personality fit your current job studies right now? Because I'm going to change my screen. I will give a few seconds more before I swap my screen. All right, so let's say people from I mean from the YouTube audience, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, drop in the chat box. I'm still looking at the chat box, so don't you worry. Okay, okay, ready? So I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, three, two, one, let's go. Right. Okay. Can you see it? Discovering, enjoy, distress, whimsically. What's that? Whimsically? I never heard that. Whimsically? Is it a typo or this is actually like a new generation word? Confused. Yeah, main. I understand when you say confused. I did confuse before. Patient, living, conflicted and uncertain. All right. Conflicted and uncertain. Somewhat. Right. Somewhat. I can see people said somewhat. Right. Okay. What else? Good, best, excited, worried. Okay. Worried. Valid is valid. Distress. Super valid. Okay. So far so good. Okay. I'm just wondering what this whimsically means. I wonder if the participant in that. Maybe you can try to share with us what is whimsically in the chat box. I will be happy to know. I would love to learn the new word from you. Right. Okay. Best, meaningful, excited, perfectly. Okay. Loving, serious, and then empathic, confused. Okay. Disciplinary. Wow. I didn't expect that. Disciplinary. Okay. Solutions. Okay. It's a good vision. Mix up. Okay. Mix up. And then what else? Better. Mixed feelings. Strong and independent. Strong, independent. My God. Um, okay. So Chok Moi Kian said mixed feeling. Okay. I can see on the chat box. Let me check on the YouTube if they have anything. Okay. Sorry. Nothing. Okay, so what we are seeing right now is actually how we projected. we projected our feelings about our personality at work. I'm seeing on my right monitor right now. Confused, better, and mixed feelings. Somewhat important, somewhat not important. So people have their own feelings towards their own job. But when we throw again the right questions, when we zoom in, is it right or is it wrong? Okay, honestly, there is no right or wrong question for this one. It is about how we actually feel about our job, and it's quite important to understand to understand how we validate our feelings. Again, I always like asking people, especially with my clients during the session, hey, how do you feel about your job? Do you like what you are doing right now, or do you feel like it's a distressful? Yeah, if that's the way you project your emotions, what make you feel that way, right? So if we don't ask ourselves how does we actually feel about our work, how can we explore, how can we understand further? So I always like facilitate my clients, and I like to share with all of you, try to self validate yourself, ask about yourself, right? Ask about yourself, do I like whatever that I'm doing at my work? Do I hate my studies, etc.? So it's quite important. Okay, so I can see that Aruna said whimsical means playful, quirky, or light-hearted. All right, so whimsical. Maybe for the next workshop, I can use this word. Thanks, Aruna, for a new word. I really like it. And Aziati said 7 workplace, perfect. Right. Okay. Thank you, Aziati. You see, for me, I will say that we have the same rank of numbers, me and Aziati. This is my, I think, six to seven workplace as well. Right. Okay. Yes, yes, of course. We talk about personality, how this actually personality fit with ourselves. You see, when we talk about personality, we cannot run away from our emotions, right? So if just like how again, when you see all those words, Iman, right? When you see all those words, people actually project their emotions, how they think about their personality fit their work. You can see the distress words there. So meanings that they probably struggling with personality. They try to fit with the people, the environment, but they try, but it doesn't work well. So what went wrong? So perhaps maybe there is something that in this workshop that can inspire people to discover further. All right, Ryan, thank you for the sharing. So I'm going back to my slide. I hope it makes sense, this activity. I hope it makes sense. It gives you an idea how you feel about it. Right. So a lot of thumbs up. Thanks, guys. All right. Okay. So, okay. Again, there's no right or wrong about what you are doing right now. We are not here to judge you. Where are we right now? If if these people that sharing in the words just now, having distressful feelings, or mixed feelings, or uncertain, somewhat what not important or important, this is maybe a moment that you attended for this workshop, maybe a reminder for me. Ask yourself, how can we evaluate yourself? Exactly, exactly. Thanks, Ida. If you can see the checkbox, it's really interesting. Ida said she feels like personality somewhat fit the current job, but don't fit with my colleagues. Again, when John Hollands developed this assessment, of course, it checked with personality, but at the same time, it checked with our environments again. You probably fits with the job, but your environment, does it fit with you? Does it make you feel like intoxicated places, for example? Does it make you feel like general well-being? Well, so it's a question for ourselves. John Holland just not focusing on the job itself, just not focusing on personality itself, but it's relate personality and the environment. How this person actually, for example, maybe Ida has a specific personality. It fits with the work, but how about the environment? The environment, does it feel supportive as well, or does it not feel supportive? So it's quite challenging. This is the part of when expectation. This is reality. Well, there is no such a perfect world, but how can we manage these? That's the a good question that we should ask ourselves. Right. Okay, so let's go to the next video. Now we have understand our personality. How can we discover personality? And we talk about career. And now let's talk about job crafting. Let's go.
From our choice of coffee, to our clothes, to our cars, we personalise all aspects of our lives. However, one area of our lives we are not often encouraged to personalise is our work. Research has shown that when we personalise something, we value it up to 2 times more than something that comes off the shelf. Job crafting encourages people to proactively personalise their work to make it a better fit for them, much like a semi-tailored suit. So why does job crafting matter? Adopting a tailored approach to work has a multitude of benefits. Job crafting enables people to thrive in their work, boosting feelings of confidence, happiness, and even having a positive impact on physical health. Job crafting also stimulates personal and professional growth and development and has been linked with career progression and satisfaction. Additionally, job crafting fuels performance by impacting motivation, productivity, and innovation. There are 5 core forms of job crafting. Task crafting involves making changes to the tasks and activities that make up a job, including redesigning, adding, or removing tasks. Purpose crafting involves reflecting on the meaning of our role and how our work aligns with our personal values. Shaping how we connect with our colleagues and amplifying the relationships which matter to us is known as relationship crafting. Wellbeing crafting encourages us to find and create opportunities to boost physical and mental health through how we carry out our work. Skill crafting involves finding opportunities to develop, refine, or consolidate skills and knowledge. So how can we bring job crafting to life? In order to job craft, people need the opportunity and encouragement to make small changes to make their job a better and more personal fit with their strengths, passions, and interests. Research shows us that making these changes benefits not only the individual, but their colleagues, customers, and organisation too. To find out more about how to make work better, please visit our website at tailoredthinking.co.uk.
All right. So how is everyone feeling? Does it answer some of your questions right now? Okay, so yeah, I see thumbs up, loves. Oh, no fireworks this time. I missed those fireworks. I'm kidding. Okay, so for Aruna, when you said that someone fits the somewhat fits the job, but not my preferred job initially. I can see the fireworks. Thanks, guys. Okay, so yeah, again, Aruna and Ida, you guys have somehow I would say a similar presenting issue. It's not about yeah, just like Ida when Ida said personality fits the job, but the thing is it doesn't like like the environment doesn't feel helpful. And then Aruna said somewhat feels fits the job, but actually it's not the preferred job. Again, it depends on how you see your career, how your personality actually works for it. So actually, both these questions actually it can be related to something that I wanted to present later. Is actually about job crafting, right? So when we talk about job crafting is not about leaving the job. Why you wanted to leave the job? If you okay with the job, it just like you don't have passion anymore. Job crafting is actually help you to make you feel much more meaningful at work again. Right, probably this is something that Ida probably wanted to explore. Just now the video showed the well-being crafting. So well-being crafting means that there must be some factors or space or opportunity to enhance your well-being at the workplace. Probably this is something that you wanted to express the concern with the whole team, yeah, something well-being crafting. And then for Aruna, right, when you say that the job is fit but it's not something that your preferred job, this is the part that job crafting play main role. You can see just now in the video as well, they mentioned about skills crafting, and then task crafting, right? Skills crafting, task crafting. Okay, maybe this is the job that you feel like I mean, it's okay. I'm okay with the job, but it's not something that I prefer. But perhaps Aruna, maybe this is time that you might want to focus on your strengths. What type of strengths that you have, and try to relate your job. Maybe ask your supervisor or say, hey, you know what? I think I'm good at this. I wanted to take extra project, for example. This is what you call the job. To mute. All right. Okay, I will explain details later. All right. So for those people that maybe have the same questions like Ida and then Aruna, okay, when we talk about job crafting is not about leaving the job. If you think that you don't fit with the job, you just leave. No, we don't do that. Okay, we try to understand what are our main issues. What makes us feel like I don't feel like working here anymore. I feel like my mind is already quit and resigned from the job. My physical in here, but my mind is like somewhere else. I don't feel like, just 9 to 5, get money paid salary, and then that's it. So how can we make our job crafting much more meaningful and significant? Right. So the first strengths and values. I might think that this my answer might help Aruna. Right. Aruna said, okay, the job is fixed, but it's not a preferred job. Okay. So identify our core strengths and values at work. What are values and what kind of skills or specific tasks that we like to do at work, but actually we cannot do it. Why? Because it's not our job description. Okay, so maybe this is the time that we can list out our strengths and values what we have at the workplace, with the hope that this might be our focus to boost how we feel about our work. And for the second step, this is the part that I explained to Aruna just now. You think this might not be preferred job, but you're okay with the job. Maybe this is about time you go to your superior, maybe your manager. You know what? For example, hey, Rizwan. You know what, Rizwan? I mean, the job is good. I delivered before the deadline, but I think like I wanted to do something different, something extra miles. So this is also what we call alter your tasks and responsibilities. Focus on strengths and values that you have. Identify which your job description can you identify, can and then align with your number one step, strengths and values. And this probably will increase your meaning at work. Right. So for example, me as a counselor, working as a counselor, and then from day to day attending therapy, it might be bored for me, it might be boring for me, but I, like for example, I proposed to my manager, hey, you know what? I feel like I wanted to do something else, but still in my job scope. Okay, managers or superiors, they don't like when they hear that, oh, you are leaving this job description. No, the job description stay with me. I add another one so that I can feel value at workplace. Okay, I'm still deliver my therapy, right? My therapy. So I use my counseling skills, my therapy skills. Why don't I use this in the crowd? So I'm doing a workshop right now. So I'm using my skill as a counselor. Share whatever that I have in my mind to share with my share with everyone, right? So this is what I'm trying to say. Alter your tasks and responsibilities. I hope it does make sense to you, Aruna. Okay, so the next one is reframe your purpose. Okay, I really like to take these examples when I read about, I mean, if you have a time, try to read memoirs or autobiography or biography about, Unku Aziz, Naqib Al-Atas, or perhaps you don't want to read about local biography, read about Steve Jobs, for example, these founders. Try to understand how can they reframe their purpose. So when these people, these so-called intellectual people or these called great people, when they see the job, they don't actually see the job. They see a purpose. They see a mission. Mission like what? How can I help people? How can I give impact to my colleagues and my teams? It's not just 9 to 5 job, but it is a 9 to 5 impactful jobs. It's different. When you go to the office, of course you have the purpose like what doing your JD, but what makes the difference with the other people. So when you reframe your purpose, oh, you know what? I'm clocked in today. I feel like I wanted to do something else, something that actually might give impact to colleagues. So try to list out when you have a free time. Try to list out. Try to ask this question to yourself: if I wanted to reframe my purpose, try to write down how you want to impact others at workplace, how you want to impact your colleagues, how you want to impact your managers, how you want to impact the whole team, how you want to impact the whole unit, and then the whole department, and the whole department, the whole organization. Who knows, right? Right. But it's okay. Try with something very small. Okay, again, this one, right? When I said reframe your purpose, it's not something that try to impress people. No, I never meant to impress people. But when I say impact mean contribution, impact doesn't mean impress. Oh, I'm going to impress my boss with, my extra miles. Okay, so this is the part that quite confusing. When people do their JD, job description, right, doing more, they always think that, oh, so this is, I'm doing extra miles. No, you are not doing extra miles. JD is expectation, but extra mile is something that not in the JD, but you do it anyway. So this is called extra mile, and this is what I mentioned in the second point. Alter your tasks and responsibilities. You have your JD as a foundation, but then you think that, oh, you feel like you wanted to be value. Do more, something else. Ask your manager, hey, you know what? I'm good in public speaking. Why don't for the next events I volunteer to be a MC for the company, for example. So foundation JD as a base, but relate with your personality and core. How can you contribute to the company? Extra miles. Job description is not extra miles. You have to do as expected. If you want to do extra miles, focus on more on what kind of strengths and values that you can do and what kind of contribution you can do. So this is how I see it, extra miles, right? And then again, and then after that, you can understand what is your purpose coming to work. What is your purpose when you do the job crafting? Reframe your purpose. So for fresh learners, when we talk about reframe your purpose, ask yourself, when you choose you wanted to be an engineer, for example, or perhaps safety officer, medical officer, or any job that you wanted to be, ask yourself what kind of contribution that you wanted to do. So for example, when I decided to be a counselor, I make myself clear I'm here to assist people. Despite that, my case probably complicated, complex, and I have to refer to outside. I'll make sure that I'll do the transition properly. So still assisting people, right? It's very important to understand. And then the next one is set career goals. Yeah, of course, I don't have to explain why you need a set career goals, but actually it's very important. When we set career goals, make sure that you do a SMART goal. Make sure that your goal is a sustainable, maintainable, achievable, measurable, etc. Having SMART goal actually help us to drive. Okay, right. So set one small career goal. You don't have to go for the big. We're not asking you to go to the moon, but we're asking you how can you be proactive at work. So set a simple career goals. I understand that we have our own KPI, but KPI is KPI, but career goals is your personal stuff. Where do you see yourself for the next 2 years, 3 years? Are you going to do the same thing or you're going to do something else? It's very important to understand set career goals. And then the last one, how can we make our work exciting, is create a personalized work environment. I know for newer generation, this is your stuff, but yeah, from my generation, I started to learn about this as well. Deco. I remember that my colleague, he brought a gaming keyboard at workplace. I was like, you must be joking, right? You brought your gaming keyboard at the workplace. But this make he feels like he wanted to work more, passionate more. Right, in my previous workplace, he didn't use a normal office chairs, but he used a big stress ball. He sit on that big stress ball and do the typing, the work. It was super amazing, and his workspace is like it's like, I don't know, like IT programmer, something like that, or like a gamma rod. It's very interesting, but he just working in operation. So this is how he motivate himself. I will always remember him, how he actually um affects other people as well to do what he did. All right. So when we talk about job crafting, right? I remember that I know someone that has been working for the same company for the last 20 years. So when I asked her what are this, like the what the secrets, what is the secret recipe that you actually stay in this company for for the last 20 years, man. Come on, man. 20 years, man. Right. So I remember that she said, oh, the first thing ever that she did was anything, any task, any new job, any task, any responsibility that she received. She said, you know what, I'm going to try it either way. So she willing to pick up the new responsibility, not just the task, but pick up new responsibility. When she picked up new responsibility, she actually created a new meaning for her life. So I remember that she shared with me that she actually uh you know make a movement internally in the company, from one department to another department. So this actually helped her to feel like I find meaningful at work, despite that I'm still at the same company. But yeah, it is I'm still doing whatever the task that I receive. I look at this as this is my mission. It's not just a 9 to 5 job, but this is my mission. I'm going to try it. Right. So this is the mindset that I honestly admire, how she complete her work. She's just not seeing her work as a work, but she's seeing her work as a purpose of learning, purpose of growing. When we say growing, it doesn't mean that we like like a career laddering, or from executive to senior executive. But growing is much more than that. It's much more than that. New skills, new tasks, new responsibilities. The most important thing is new learning. Right. So I can see that all those comment in the chat box, but due to time restraint, I think I will keep it to myself. Thank you, guys. All right. So now we're almost reaching at the end of our sessions. I would like to call for action. Everyone, I would like to call for action. I know this is just an online talk, but I would like to call for an action. So once you have finished these sessions, start planning today, like right now. Right now, when I click end the call, plan it right now. Okay. So the first step that you should do, I don't like to use the word should, but I would like to. The first step that best to do, should do, is like I'm still like forcing you to do it. So it is best for you to do the first step is complete the e-profiling, right? Because time is like gold. If we lost the time, we lost it. So use this particular opportunity. You came to my workshop, we came to our workshop, and uh, take this opportunity to learn more about it. Yeah. So right, and so start planning today. Once finish the session, Yeah, of course. Again, my ethics guideline was when you come, answer the e-profiling, so you will get the accurate answers, hopefully, right? So and then the next one is, where is it? Step two, identify your top three codes. So I can see that Umu said she already did. Dah buat. I got ISA. Okay, that's good. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Okay. And then second step is identify your top three codes. So once you have identified the top three codes, what can you do with that information? Of course, you have, yeah. I mean, you have learned from my sharing today. These codes actually shape your personality. But what can you do with those data, your information? I'll be happy to assist you to help you translate more. So step three is to book a session with the counseling unit. You can see the counselor's email at there, counselor@yam.edu.my. It's not a compulsory, but I will encourage anyone that actually they wanted to learn more about your personality, and come to see us. We have two counselors, me, Ridzuan, and then we have another counselor is Azlin for female. If you feel comfortable with the female, you can reach out to the email and ask for Miss Azlin. For me, if you feel comfortable, you wanted to talk with me, not just about your personality, your career, but anything else, come reach to me, us, and anyone, dear Rizwan, for example. I would like to have a fixed appointment with you. I'm will be happy to assist. If you wanted to have a female counselor, dear Miss Azlin, should be enough. Right. So again, it's not compulsory. It's a call for action, man. Come on, man. It's call for action. Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay, someone actually shared the link. Is very good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so in conclusion, what we actually doing today, we were introduced by RIASEC assessment which help us to understand, to identify what are our three main codes, our three personalities that dominate in our daily life, and this RIASEC assessment help us to identify and to understand further how can our actually personality fits with our job. Okay, and then the last one is once we learn about our personality, oh, this is my personality, and try to take a step back and try to understand where are you right now. When I said where are you, meaning that I'm here, this is my environment. Try to understand what happened, what is going on. Do I feel okay? Do I feel like I'm okay with my environment? Do I feel not? So for fresh learners, maybe this is the time for you to take a time to think, where is my sense of direction? Where do I want to go? And for adult learners, again, this is a time for evaluation. Try to understand what are you doing. Do you feel like is this a fulfillment or is this not fulfillment? Do you feel like work life balance is actually that you are looking for, or perhaps you don't want work life balance, perhaps you want to focus on career? So this is the part that you know evaluate yourself. And for retirees, homemakers, congratulations, you have gone such a significant journey, but now it's a new time for you to explore what do you want to do, what else that you can contribute more. You have all those experience, your past work experience, your relationship crafting with other people, and now you are here with us. Use this opportunity to explore. Use assessment, reactive assessment to understand what do you want to explore. And again, assessment. This assessment is not a holy book. It's not a holy Bible, Quran. It is an assessment. Helps you to understand further. Yeah. And before I forget, again, as a counseling unit, we always have these services to all of you. I believe when people, like call us, call Center Learners Affairs, they were surprised. Oh, do you actually have a counselor? Come on, man. We have been sitting here, right? I've been joining here since last year. So I'm here to assist you. I'm here to help you. It doesn't have to be career issues. If you have any issues regarding about your academic concerns, how can you achieve, how can you build an effective study schedule or complete your assignments before a due deadline, I will be happy to assist you accordingly. If you have a personal concerns, work-life balance, I understand you are a father, you are a mother, you are a family man, but at the same time, you are employees as well, and you are a student as well. So three roles. How can you juggle the work-life balance? I will say that I like working with people, working adult learners that try to find a balance. It's not about finding a balance, like maybe what equally 25, 25, 25 to make it 100, but it's more about how do you feel comfortable. If 70 your academic concern, if 70 academic concern is okay, all right, and should be fine. Okay. Okay, so okay, I can see Arif, you have any question you want to type or you would like to speak to yourself. Okay, go on, Arif, Abdul Arif, question please. I will be happy to answer. Arif, are you talking to us? Or I saw that you raised your questions, right? You didn't type as well. Hey, it's gone already. Okay. No more hand, Arif. Okay, so any questions? Any questions? I open to any questions. If you feel like you don't feel like talking, it's okay. Just type there. I will be happy to assist. We have a few minutes more. Yeah, of course. We have a e-certificate as well. Don't worry. We have the e-certificate. Make sure that you fill up the feedback form. I will share later. Don't worry. I definitely will share feedback form later. Make sure you fill it up. Okay. So questions, or you already no questions one, no questions two. Thanks to you too, no shower. No questions three. All right. Okay. So don't leave the room yet. Please fill this feedback form first. I'm not going to wrap up yet until you fill up this form. Okay, scan. Okay, disclaimer, whoever that doesn't fill up this feedback form, so I mean the form will not capture your attendance and I don't think you will get the e-certificate. Okay, so make sure you fill up the feedback form. Okay. Okay, just a moment.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
yes.
Ada
Yusof.
ada bahasa Melayu ke sir? Saya tak
Bahasa Melayu apa?
untuk translate apa ada ni apa video recording ni.
Oh, tak ada. Sebab kita buat satu video saja.
Oh, okay.
Tapi tak apa, kalau just in case kalau Yusof ada soalan, Yusof boleh boleh email je kat kita orang. InsyaAllah kita boleh bantu.
Okay. Oh.
Okay,
Kiranya saya
okay, so
kena
okay,
isi
terima kasih
form.
Yusof.
Kena
Ya,
kena scan link ni lah.
betul Yusof. Yusof boleh scan QR code untuk dapat.
Sir. Tadi I terlambat masuk, ada sertifikat juga ke? Sebab
Yes,
tadi ada
can.
kelas. Oh, okay.
Sure. Don't worry. Okay, so whoever that okay, what I'm trying to say, the most important thing is scan this QR code and you will get the form. Okay. So I still will let the room open so all of you can fill up the form. Right. Can I check if
One online ni ke sir? Kena isi.
sorry?
Yang kena isi one net online
Ya, yang this one.
Oh, okay.
Betul ke QR code ni akan dapat ke Google Form ke?
One net online.
Kejap saya check. Kalau scan QR code ni dapat tak? Sebab saya dapat feedback form, dapat tak QR code ni?
Ya, dapat.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, dapat.
Dapat Okay. Okay, wait, let me find a link just in case you susah. Okay, so it's okay. I will share the link as well. Drive.
Hello sir, boleh saya tanya sikit?
Boleh,
Hello?
boleh, boleh. Boleh, Yusof. Boleh tanya.
Yang apa,
Boleh, boleh,
yang
Yusof.
lain telusuri berdasarkan minat ni untuk kerjaya ke apa?
Ya, Yusof. Minat ni sebenarnya kita nak tengok personality untuk kerjaya, Yusof.
Oh, kerjaya.
Kan kalau Yusof masuk dekat yang e-profiling website daripada Kementerian Pendidikan Tinggi, kat situ ada assessment Yusof. Yusof
Okay.
boleh jawab assessment kat situ, tengok apa yang Yusof minat sebenarnya. InsyaAllah benda ni boleh membantu Yusof.
Oh, alright.
Alright.
Excuse me, sir. May I ask a question, please?
Yes, please, Grace. Please, Grace.
Sir, may I ask? Because one of the audience also mentioned sometimes we can't work well with some colleagues. So may I ask for your advice? What are the solutions to tackle this issue?
Okay. Thank you, Grace. It's actually such a great questions. But again, I would like to clarify. Okay, I'm not a coaching career, but I'm a counselor. So my question will be reflective as me as a counselor, not as a career coach, and not from someone that as a HR experts. Okay, so if you're asking me, because of course, I'm dealing with a client that having interpersonal issues at workplace, and how can these people actually move on from that. So generally, what can I see? There are two possibilities. This is based on my client experience, Chris. Okay, so the first one is, of course, is either you like it or not. It's like you're throwing a curveball, like a baseball, you're throwing a curveball, and last minute the ball curve, and either you like it or not, you have to deal with that. That's the first thing. And second thing, based on the feedback that I get from my clients, the first thing is always expressing the concern, address the concern itself. I know it's tough, but that's the reality. If you don't address the concern, how is it possible people to understand? For example, I got some feedback from my clients. They address their concerns to either to their superior, and then or perhaps some of them they don't do that. They just address the concern directly to the person that they don't feel comfortable at all. And of course, it doesn't make any sense for some people because you guys cannot attach anymore. So, but again, I'm talking as from a counseling perspective, right? Addressing concern is always one of the biggest block. Yeah, and then the second part, and I noticed that sorry, one third second. Okay, the second perspective that I get from my client feedback, some of them they started to. I'm not encouraging on the last resort, like exploring for a new job, but if you think that that will be your last resort, that always be in your mind, it's not wrong as well. Yeah, I mean interpersonal relationships at workplace, it can be worsen it, isn't it? Right, but again, I will say I'll always ask my client to what, I know that you have that plan, but why don't you try on your first and second step, and let's see how it works. If you think that's the choice that you are ready to make, you have to bear with the consequences. Again, when I facilitate my clients, when we had a significant discussion about it, we are always focused on how actually our decision will give some impact, right? Regardless if you choose option A, you choose option B, we cannot run away from the responsibility, and we cannot run away from the impact of the decisions that we made. I hope it does make sense, Grace. Not the best, but I hope it does make sense to you based on what I learned in my past cases.
Okay, thank you.
Right, okay. Okay, thanks, Grace. Thanks for the questions. Okay, again, so whoever that have filled up the form, you may leave it. And okay, Okay, I'm still like finding. Just I'm finding the link. So just in case.
Sir, untuk
Yes, yes.
sertifikat tu kita cuma scan QR code tu, kita isi borang dalam tu saja kan?
Ya, betul. Make sure you fill up the form, isi betul-betul.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, so photos we cannot scan the form. Okay. Alright, so let me check something. So I checked with my team. They actually have shared the feedback form. Okay, guys. So yeah, I almost forgot that. Okay, before we wrap up the session, I will be happy to take a selfie with every one of you. So if you please turn on the camera for a while, just let's have a quick selfie first before we wrap up the session. Okay, wait, how should I navigate this? Adjust the view. Okay, right.
Oh, hello sir. Hello.
Alright, yes,
Oh,
I can hear you.
macam mana sir boleh speaking bahasa Inggeris macam ni?
Oh, boleh Yusof, boleh actually. Dia tak ada rahsia Yusof sebenarnya. Saya pun dulu saya banyak main game sebenarnya. Itu rahsia. Rahsia saya banyak main game orang putih. Sebab tu saya macam biasa. Lepas tu tengok movie banyak Yusof. Bukan tengok movie seronok. Tengok movie tu tengok cara dia orang cakap Yusof. InsyaAllah Yusof boleh. Terima kasih Yusof. Saya rasa satu soalan yang bagus. Satu soalan ni bagus yang Yusof minat. Okay. Kejap. Wait, I'm still adjusting my view so that I can see everyone. Alright, guys. So,